start recording right here. Rosa, what pair in particular do you want to cover? That's the $1 million question.
DXY. Definitely DXY.
I think
All right,
so.
guys. So we're going to get started on this pair. I'm going to cover about 6 here. The main ones I usually do, DXY through gold here. And then Angela's going to cover a whole bunch of others. Basically, I'm just going to take you through the daily and 4-hour time frame, give you the overall sentiment, and then give you 2 potential trade scenarios for the week ahead. Okay, and then maybe some other ones, some lower time frame trades if they're kind of presenting themselves. So we'll start on the daily time frame. This is the dollar. Okay, so this makes up for 80% of all trade, and it is considered the reserve currency of the world. So what we like to do is kind of stop here, do the analysis, see what's going on with the dollar, and then take that information into the analysis with our other major pairs that we're actually trading. Okay, so here we are on DXY. Overall, we have been very bearish for a while, right? And the major level that we broke that's relevant to current time would be this monthly here. We broke through it, right? Retested, gave us a lower high, and then started pushing lower. We did see a bit of a reversal here and a break back through the monthly, and then established that monthly again as support. So we are definitely bullish now on the daily, right? This is a clear transition, right? Lower high that was broken, retested, higher low formed, and then a rally to follow. So definitely bullish. So with that in mind, we can drop down to the 4-hour. And this kind of makes sense with the fundamentals surrounding the state of the U.S. economy, right? We're on the rebound. Things are starting to look good. Everything is kind of pointing in the right direction, right? So a recovery.
Yeah, I think we are on the rebound, aren't we?
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, there are some other, things floating around like potential, other waves of COVID and stuff, but overall, we're pretty much on the rebound. It's looking more positive than negative right now. So,
well, there's supposed to be like a tsunami or something.
The more like future waves of COVID, like reinfection. So that's happening somewhere. There's always got to be concern.
I personally think that there's going to be another wave, like a series.
I think it's definitely possible because, the thing now is people are a little more lenient with these rules. We've been around it for a while. Things are starting to reopen. People want things to reopen, despite the numbers, coming up here and there. So, I mean, it really is a time game. We'll see. I think midsummer we'll pretty much know. But, all we can do now is keep an open mind and follow what the charts say and, the information that we have. So right now we know we're bullish. Right now on the 4-hour, though, we are bearish. So this is pulling back quite a bit. I mean, that it makes sense. It's still overall bullish. We did have a pretty large rally. Here's the pullback. So where it's at now is pretty much going to determine if it's going to maintain this, new 4-hour trend, daily bullish trend, or if it's going to start pushing lower into other support levels. So key thing about this level right now is we are at the 61.8 fib level. We could see ranging continue and then ultimately a break to the upside. That's where we would be looking for entries, on higher lows. If you want to be a little more risky, a little more active in this, you could catch the low here, play the range, and then wait on the break. 2 potential scenarios there: entry low, entry on the break. Obviously, waiting for the break is more conservative of an entry, but both are possible. Okay, now let's say 91.95 breaks. This level right here breaks. Actually, it's probably just 91.95. If we see price action get below that, some sort of retest, lower high below, it's pretty much a continuation of this 4-hour trend, and we're looking to reach the next significant level of support, which would be 91.5, our monthly, which is right near our 100% fib level. Okay, so pretty much we're looking for that to play out, either a bounce or a break, and then we'll reanalyze, obviously, if this happens, or maybe we'll see the dollar start to rise, and then all the other pairs we can then place great trades based on that information. So really,
dude, one thing I will say, I went over your analysis from last week. Dude, it was like unbelievable.
Yeah, spot on. I actually wanted to show you something too. I've noticed this recently. So the cool thing about, let me show you, TradingView is it shows you if you're consistently posting your past analysis, right? So all these little arrows are past analysis. You can click them, it'll pull it up. And there's 7 that are visible on this. And when it shows you it's green, that means your analysis was right. Or if it's yellow, that means you chose a neutral idea. And if it's red, obviously it went the wrong way. But it's all dependent on what you choose when you're posting the analysis. So obviously I'm posting here that it's a long scenario, short scenario, and so on and so on.
Oh, so you're
But,
posting. See, I always pick neutral to make myself look better.
yeah, I do it sometimes. If I don't know, I don't know. But dude, I mean, look, seven for seven. So not bad. Not bad. Been pretty
It's crazy. It's
been
crazy.
clearly, dude, I swear to God, since if you guys were able to trade well during COVID, you could trade during any scenario. Literally. So
Big facts.
you know, that definitely was a crazy experience trading during that. But anyway, back to DXY. This is what we're waiting for. This is the zone to be aware of. And yeah, either a break or bounce. So we'll see what happens. All right, on to AU, first actual pair. This one's looking super clear as well in terms of structure and just how this range is kind of playing out. Very, very straightforward. So daily time frame to start. We are actually overall bullish on this on the daily time frame. Key support being right at this weekly, right at 0.76. So this is that level, that key level that's going to decide this overall daily trend. Okay, so now let's go to the 4 hour. You know that we're overall bullish. We're at key support. Okay, what's the 4 hour telling us? The 4 hour is pointing bearish right now, clearly, right? Lower lows, lower highs, break of support, retest as resistance, break of support, again, retest as resistance. And now we're ranging because this is a false breakout. Disregard this. This is not a lower high below. Therefore, it's a false breakout. This is the range that we're maintaining right now. Pretty much support our weekly zone, 0.76, resistance, 0.768. All right, so how do we trade this? What are we looking for? What do we want to see to get into a high probability setup? Ideally, it'd be a continuation of this 4 hour, break, retest, enter on a lower high, and then target down towards support and our negative 27 fib level down here near 0.75, which is also a very large psychological level. It's good to see that, just another level of confirmation for us. Great target. So that's what we're looking for. Nice transition to this. Super clean entry on a lower high. And that would be ideal, right? But what's the flip side? Could reverse its support right now. Continue to play this range. If you want, you're always welcome to play the range. There is just a little more risk associated with that, especially when it's at a low and it's favoring a certain trend like now. But yeah, this is definitely possible. If it reverses here, you catch a nice transition on a 30-minute or 15-minute, let's say, target 0.768, and then reanalyze once price action reaches that. But keep in mind, guys, as long as we're below 0.768 and below the 38.2, it is pretty much bearish on this 4 hour at least. So to really say that this is bullish, to catch a nice long opportunity, you really want a higher low above 0.768. Okay, but we're not there yet. So this is what the two trade scenarios are for this pair are right now. All right, that's AU. Move on to AJ. This one's looking pretty clean too. We did just have a drop, a recent drop, but let's go to the daily first.
The almighty AJ.
Yeah, right. The thing loves to move. So typically AU and AJ are pretty correlated. You'll see a lot of the same patterns or support resistance levels hold for the most part. So like as you can see here, it's overall bullish. We have a high volume range here. Key support is down here at 82.2, and then also in between this range at around, what do I have this marked at? 83.5, right in this 83.3 right here. There it is. So overall bullish, although we did just get a lower high here. So let's drop to the 4 hour now and see what we could spot. Okay, so yeah, here's that lower high, right? Huge push to the downside, hit 82.2, pulled back, started consolidating, and then slow reversal. So that's a confirmed lower high right around 84.15. And then we got a push lower down towards our weekly support, which is more of a major level, right at 83.3. Huge exhaustion, continued consolidation at this level. So this is pretty interesting. Again, just like we saw in AU, we're at support, key support, and there's two ways this could play out, break or bounce, right? So because we're seeing a lower high here, especially on the daily, that's what this is, and some momentum on the 4 hour, I'm going to go ahead and say that I think this is going to break. I really want to ride this 4 hour trend. It looks pretty strong to me, especially consolidating at this low. Hasn't pulled back yet, but it could, could pull back to retest. So we're going to wait until we see a lower high below the weekly. Okay, and that's going to be a huge opportunity down towards 82.2. Okay, so we're going to wait for that confirmation. We're not going to enter early because it could pull back, but we're just going to wait for that true transition. All right, so If this does pull back, right, look for a lower time frame transition if you want. You could play this pullback up to 84.15 at the max, and then that would be your final TP. You want to wait for a break of that transition of that level, higher, low, above, and then target higher. Okay, but for right now, it's definitely looking more bearish to me. It needs to show a lot for me to start considering long opportunities on AJ. All right, so that's where we're at right now. Pretty straightforward though. Looking pretty good. All right, let's move on to, where is it, UJ? This one, pretty far from an entry for me personally, for a couple of reasons. So let's go to the daily first, start off with that. It's basically, this thing is so overextended. It's kind of shitty. So let's zoom out on the daily here. So we know we were bearish for a while, for a long time, actually, very long time. Super, super bearish. Lower lows, lower highs, breaks of support, retest as resistance. We broke 104.5. That was really the low here. That was the most significant support level that we broke. And then we pushed a little bit lower down towards, 102.6 area, reversed, got back above 104.5, and then the thing just took off. And it's been pretty much gone since that point. So this whole bit is the rally, right? High to the low. Thing is not pulled back to form structure, which for us is at least a 38.2. But so we're going to drop to the 4 hour and get into that. But what you need to know from this time frame, overall super bullish. All right, and we are kind of near resistance at a 111.5. That's our biggest level here. So let's go to the 4 hour now. What trade scenarios do we have present?
Wait, what were you looking at for DXY? You were looking for it to be bearish or something? What were you looking at?
Let's jump right back to it actually. So it's at support. So a couple ways, it's either going to break or bounce right now, pretty much. And if it breaks, it could fall quite a bit. Pretty much, let's see, in terms of percentages, more than 0.5% down towards the monthly. So that would be pretty large. Or again, if it reversed and went bullish, the thing would just freaking fall.
Oh yeah, that 91,400 area.
Yeah, this thing could definitely drop.
Yeah, I have it. I mean, for the most part, it's just pretty bearish right now.
Yeah, this 4 hour is super, super strong. Like if you even look, just follow the lows, like break, retest. There's a little bit of a gap there. Same here, gap, retest. It's starting to slow up now, which is why I was saying this is kind of the key level. We could see it range for a little bit and then ultimately make its move. But the 4 hour is so bearish. This is actually the only part where we've seen it slow up recently right here. But could kick it again, guys, and tank all the way to our monthly. So that's a possibility. Just got to wait for the right confirmations. But let's take this over to UJ again on the 4 hour. So very similar, right? It bounced off support, guys. How it reacts here is really going to determine a lot. And just like we saw in DXY, it's either going to transition through this level and start skyrocketing, or it's going to fall a little bit more. Ideally, we would love to see this fall because, again, we haven't seen structure, right? So if DXY falls into that 91.4 handle that Angelo was just talking about and that I showed you guys, that would pretty much, we'd see this kind of play out here, right? It would fall down to 38.2 roughly, down towards, this support at 108.5. And then we could start looking for reversals, okay? And that, because we have formed structure at that point, and then we can get some big trades. Because if we see a transition back above 109.2, like this whole thing plays out here, this would be a massive trade back into 111.5. Okay, absolutely massive. We catch a higher low right here above 109.2. All right, but we're not there yet. So, what are we looking at right now? We know we're overextended. We know we just tested support here, but we're at resistance as well. So look for a transition of 110. You could catch the higher low right here. Again, it wouldn't be the highest probability trade because we didn't see structure form, but you could catch a little rally into this if we don't get the pullback we want to see. So that's there. That's a potential scenario.
Yeah, catch a little rally. Why don't we?
Yeah, exactly. And then because that's the possibility too, right? You catch the rally and then it reverses from there to form structure up at 111. Yeah. That's possible. Yeah. So
everything right now, guys, is telling us that this is going to go lower.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially this, this right here is holding well. It's a nice level at 110. So if this starts dropping, we actually did just get an engulfing right there. I didn't even notice that at 4 hour.
Yeah.
So retesting now. If it does drop, absolutely perfect. It's what we want to see out of DXY. It's what we want to see happen on UJ. And then we'll analyze down here and give you guys some great trades. All right, so that's UJ. Let's move on to EJ. This one's actually looking pretty good too. Let's go to the daily first. Overall, super, super bullish, guys. One of the biggest levels we broke recently was this monthly at 126.5. After a long period of consolidation, we broke out of it and then just took off. Huge, huge rally. We saw 130 hit and then it pulled back, formed structure. We hit 128 and then rallied again. So now we're back at 0%. Overall bullish. Let's go to the 4-hour now. See what we got. More trade scenarios. So again, here, same thing on the 4-hour, very bullish. We did just move above 130 here, confirmed a higher low, and then a high volume, false breakout, came right back, maintaining the bullish trend. So this is pretty much, there's a whole bunch of entries in here on this pullback, right? So if, this would have been the proper entry and you would have just been managing at this point. But from here, if you want to enter long on this, ideally you want to see a pullback, some sort of higher low. Again, right here above pretty much 130.2, any sort of higher low there with strong, setups and confirmation. Enter on that, target higher toward the -27. And that would be an amazing trade. Super good, tight stop loss, good risk reward on that. This would be ideal. And I think it's very likely with all this momentum. Definitely seems that the bulls are still very much in play. But what needs to happen for us to catch some short opportunities? So this trend is bullish. The 4-hour trend is bullish right here, as long as we're above 130, right? If we see a transition of that, a little lower high form in this area, we're bearish. Because once you see that lower high, it's a confirmed bearish trend on the 4-hour. So you can take a short opportunity here, start targeting support levels, play it down to the absolute max down here at 128. Okay, that would be pretty much just filling this higher time frame range. But yeah, all these support levels are potential targets if we see this lower high play out below 130. All right.
Yeah, this is looking good for the long guys, that 130-200 level that you guys are pulling back to. That would be the only area we're trying to take a long right now.
Yeah.
Because right now it's at a high. It already retested that level, so if it's gonna head higher, most likely it won't retest that level.
Right.
Like that wick already retested it. So if it's gonna head higher, it's probably gonna push from here realistically. And then to get in on a long, don't take a trade unless it gets above 130, 600 and like retest that area.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So like this would, what Angela's saying, yeah, it's actually exactly right. And even highlight this zone. So yeah, again, so like this was the entry down here. It did break and retest. The only way to get into this would be on a pullback now, but it's really, this is the managing the trade moment, because this looks like it's about to push. And this, was obviously a great entry down there. So as Angela's saying, if you want to get in on this, other than just here, the only way to do it would be a higher low above this resistance right here. Okay, but until we see that, we got to just wait. Just wait. But anyone who took this trade, good looks, great trade. Hopefully you see some more profit out of this and that final target hit. All right, so that's EJ. Let's move on to gold here, which is probably my favorite setup and the most interesting, I think, for this week. And that actually just lined up really well because we always end with gold. But let's first start on the daily. What's happening on the daily? So we know we were bullish for a while. We are still bullish on the higher time frames. So the weekly and monthly are still overall bullish, but the daily here is now definitely bearish, right? So once we saw this transition happen pretty much at 1800, that's when we changed trends, right? Because this was the last confirmed higher low right here, part of this bullish trend. We saw the transition, boom, automatically bearish, and looking for shorts. All right, so let's go to the 4-hour now. We're bearish on the daily, okay, bearish on the 4-hour, but we are kind of ranging here. So we have some tight consolidation here, but we've been kind of playing in these zones for a little while now, right? So from here, we did also see a break recently, just on the 4-hour. We did see a break right here. We are trying to confirm a higher low right now and outside of this trend line as well. So if we do confirm this higher low, right, and also this would add to this if DXY starts dumping, we would see gold start to appreciate a little bit. That would play into this rallying, right? So we'll look to target towards resistance, back up towards 1800 potentially. But yeah, all depends on how it forms right here. And if, which way DXY goes for the most part. So if this doesn't play out, if we don't see the higher low, if we don't see the confirmation, the momentum doesn't step in, and in fact, this thing breaks back below 1737, look for this lower high, nice little pocket of influence right here, guys, and we'll be taking shorts all day long. Any engulfing, evening star, bearish variation, anything to confirm this lower high, short the hell out of it and target down towards this monthly. 1675 is your target. So honestly, either way this goes this week, this is going to be a great trade. Gold looks amazing. Great long opportunity, great sell opportunity. Just got to wait and see what DXY does.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much.
I definitely have the same. I'll share mine now, but I definitely have the same idea on gold right now.
Yeah. Could kind of go either way depending, right?
It's definitely a buy right now, but if it breaks, that'll, we start to sell.
Yeah. 100%. So quick recap from me, guys. I covered DXY, AU, AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold. And again, we always post these on TradingView. So if you can't catch them there, you can catch them in our analysis on Discord here, and then also on Telegram. So I'm going to pass this off to Angelo, and he'll cover the pairs that he analyzed for you guys.
Yes, sir. All right, good job with the analysis as always. Like I said last week, was freaking pretty fire for the replays. So guys, if you're rewatching this call or you're wondering what should you do with this analysis that we did post, this is all higher time frame stuff. So you can use this analysis during the entire week. So what I would do if I was you guys during the week, if you're unsure, what direction the market's heading in, just come into where we post them into Telegram. And I'll just pull up the Discord chat. Just come into here. These are all ideas. Dude, this guy freaking posted this from the live session, and I thought it was like explicit. I thought it was like explicit content in there.
Oh my god!
I was like, what the fuck is
it
that?
looks like it, right? It's only knees. That's
I was like,
leading.
I was like, what the fuck? And then yeah. So all the analysis is posted in here, guys. All you gotta do is click the links, and then you come into the idea. Nick writes out, his sentiment on each time frame, trade scenario 1 and 2. You can hit this play button here, and you could do this throughout the whole week. See how the analysis is playing out. I know at times, even during the week with me, you kind of get like locked in on the lower time frame and like what's going on just on like a 4-hour candle. And you got to kind of zoom out, remember what the actual sentiment is in the whole market, where the overall direction is and everything. So this could really help you during the week. So definitely check this out during the week, guys. So let's get into it here. I did a bunch of the major pairs. So we're going to get into those right now. First, we're going to start off. I have a few that are near potential entries right now, but I'm not going to take any trades tonight. We're going to wait for tomorrow. So we're going to start with just a few that I'm on the higher time frame on. So as always, let's just bump up on USEF to the weekly time frame. So last week, just very clearly, look at this candle, huge bearish candle pushed down. So obviously, ton of sellers stepped into the market. We actually closed below this resistance level as well. So that's just kind of my idea on the weekly time frame. Obviously, sellers kicked in, could potentially trigger another sell-off on this, but let's go down to the lower time frame and see. So daily time frame, as we can see here, price pushed to this new high. We're in an uptrend very clearly. Price broke the resistance, pushed to this new high right here, retested that monthly, then we pushed down all the way back to the support level now. So we hit the support level. We just formed this like doji type candle. I guess I'd classify this more as like an inverted hammer candle right here. Very low bottom, very low wick on the bottom, long wick on the top here. So anyway, this is just a reversal candle. So that being said, we just formed a reversal type candle at the support level. That's the daily time frame. Let's go to the 4-hour now. So 4-hour is clearly in a downtrend. Clearly in a very aggressive downtrend, broke this support level here, failed to even retest the resistance, pushed lower, failed to retest the resistance again, pushed below this level, and then we just had a nice retest of this level, bearish engulfing. So this thing looks very bearish on this time frame right now. Following this bearish engulfing, we've got like multiple confirmations here. So I am going to be looking to potentially continue with a trade here on the 30-minute time frame. But for now, sticking to the 4-hour, I really want price to push kind of back into this resistance level right here. But I'm going to go over this. I'll drop some analysis inside of the premium group. There's no trade right now because this level broke. So this resistance level broke. Now we're just pushing above the resistance. If we start to move below here, find some sort of lower high, something like that, then I'll trade. So that's why this one's not on my like watch list, looking to get in on the trade more immediately. It's definitely setting up right now, but there's nothing that screams to me like, okay, let's line this up for an entry. So that's USD CHF. Let's go to Euro USD. Let's bump up to the weekly time frame. So the weekly time frame on this one, very clearly, I'm just gonna take this off, or actually I'll leave this on because it'll help us on the lower time frame. We had the weekly push all the way up to this monthly level here. Then we broke support here, pushed down, kind of retested it, but never even retested this level. Pushed down to this level, found support, pushed down. Now we're retesting that resistance right now. So this is in a downtrend on the weekly, even though last week, huge bullish engulfing candle here. We're still bearish. We're still testing this resistance level. As I make my way down now to the daily time frame, to me, you know, this is structure right now. We're in a downtrend, clearly lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Actually had 2 points here. Push to this low, retested, push to this low. Notice how I'm not like all this noise in here. I'm not kind of worried about all that. I'm just trying to get overall where are the lower lows and lower highs, keeping it clean. At this point now, I'm looking at this area as a potential lower high area. So what I mean by that is a potential next area that we can then push from and go to make a new low. But clearly this is bullish on the lower time frame. Broke resistance here, pushed up, broke resistance here, pushed up, actually retested that level. So clearly this is bullish on the lower time frame. And as we go to the 4 hour, we're going to see more of that. So 4 hour time frame, again, this is all that bullish trend right here. We pushed down, made this lower high, pushed down, made this lower high, broke this level, perfectly retested it, pushed up, minor pullback here, didn't make it. Like, I don't like when it doesn't retest these levels. Like, I love taking trades off of the retest of the 4 hour. This didn't retest it, pushed up, didn't come back to retest, pushed up, and now we're retesting this previous high. Bullish engulfing just formed right there. So that's kind of a great confirmation for me. This is telling me the lower time frames transitioning right there. And that's what I like to see to potentially take a lower time frame trade. Look at the 30-minute. This is exactly what I'm looking for on the 30-minute time frame right now, guys. This is what I'm talking about with that 4 hour bullish engulfing. I'm going to line this off. We have price broke support, pushed down, made a minor pullback, pushed down, made a support level, broke this level, and then what happened? We broke the resistance. So this level ended up breaking right here, boom. And now, you know, we're retesting that level. We just had a retest followed by a sharp rejection with a bullish candle. So this is a little trade idea, you know, at the moment. I'm not going to go down to a lower time frame right now, but this is a potential trade. Aggressively, I'd put stops here. You know, more conservatively, I'd put stops all the way down here. And then, you know, what would we be targeting? I'd bump up to the 4 hour time frame. First target would just be this previous higher high point, and then next target would be this next higher high point up here. That would get us to 1-to-1. And then, you know, keep in mind the the higher time frame here, guys. This is why this trade I would potentially close at like 1-to-1, or I would make my stops a bit smaller because there's not much room for this thing to run. We have a resistance here, and then we have this double top here. So this is clearly going to be a level that it reacts to. So those are just 3 targets here. People that wonder, you know, in the signals where we kind of get targets from, just using the previous high right here. Target 1, target 2 is this level. Target 3 would be that level. Those are just levels that it could potentially reverse from. And as you can see here, I also have these composite zones drawn. I'm not touching on too much right now, but yeah, this is definitely a potential trade with EU. So I'm going to leave this one on. We'll see how it plays out and move this one over to the watch list. Next, let's go to GU. And one thing to comment on too with EU is if we're looking for DXY to continue to go bearish, then that would support the euro dollar pushing higher, meaning the dollar is losing strength. The euro dollar would inevitably gain strength against the dollar. So that is definitely a valid trade idea right there. So again, guys, if you wanted to execute on that one, feel free to do so. Let's look at GU next. Let's bump up to the weekly time frame. So weekly time frame on GU, keeping it really simple, guys. Form support here, broke support. Last week pushed down pretty heavily. Ideally, we need a retest of this level. That'd be the best area to trade from. Retesting this zone right here. As you can see, we're down in this area right now. So let's go down to a lower time frame, see what's going on. Daily time frame, bearish as hell. Form this low, lower high, push down to a new low, pulled back to this lower high point, push down. So now we're retesting this previous low. Last week formed a wick here. So this thing could potentially pull back to retest and make another lower high, which I have marked here, or just continue bearish. But regardless, we're bearish on this pair. Going down to the 4 hour, this would be the most immediate trade idea. And again, this is what I like to see. I like to see these retests of these 4 hour levels here. So we pushed to this low, pulled back, consolidated in this area, pushed below this level, long wick here, and then we retested the resistance, pushed down with this 4 hour engulfing candle. So pretty simple here. I'm looking for a potential short, and this idea is opposite of EU. So I have two conflicting ideas. One is GU going short, and then the other one is EU going long. So we'll see. I could even run both of them, and depending how they jump off the line here, I could cut losses on one of them and let the other one run. So coming down to the 30-minute on GU, let's see if we can, support that idea at all. Looking at this, I wouldn't want to short this unless we get back up into this area. So I wouldn't want to take a short on this unless we retest like a nice liquidity zone. I don't have some zones marked up here, but being very conservative, I would love price to retest this, and then we'd have a sick risk reward. We'd have stops like around 20 pips, and then we have all this room for price to potentially push, back to that bottom wick right there. So this is the trade idea on GU. I don't want to take anything in here. To me, this is not as solid of a level. So I'm going to avoid any trades there. And if price just pushes up into this level, doesn't reject it, then we'll avoid a loss, not getting on that trade. So GU, I'll move over to the watch list. We'll watch that one a bit closer. Let's get into GJ now. I believe this one was looking a little bit better than GU. So let's bump up to the weekly time frame. So weekly time frame has been super bullish, just pushing higher and higher, broke above the resistance to this new high, and then pushed down with this bearish engulfing right here. But we're still just at this level of support. So we're at a level of support right now. So this is leading me to believe we could see a potential reversal on GJ. This thing could push up. Coming down to the daily, this supports our idea. We had this higher low, this high, push down, hitting the support level here that I had marked, and we had a spinning top candle. So this is a reversal candle. This is telling me the lower time frame is starting to transition a bit. And then as we come down to the 4 hour here, this is very minor, but even so, we had this low right here, broke, pushed down, low formed, broke, pushed down. Then we had this bullish engulfing candle. Minor level of resistance was broken with a lot of bullish pressure. And then now we flip down and we're testing that resistance as support. So this is my current idea on GJ. It's really not that strong, which is why it's not like on my watch list, a trade I'm going to take. So I'm going to wait on GJ a bit. I'm just going to leave this on the 4 hour. If this thing starts to break this high, then we'll look for the retest, and then we'll start to long. And then gold, much similar to Nick. I have two ideas on this one. Starting off on the weekly time frame, it's very simple. We were in a downtrend. We pushed below that support level that Nick mentioned right here. Boom, this level. And then at this point, we actually came up, and I thought we were going to push all the way up here to retest that level. But actually, we found some resistance right here. So we found resistance here, pushed down. Look at this wick. This is like a freaking however many pips. How many pips is this freaking wick right here? This is a 500 pip wick
Jesus.
on the weekly time frame. So
Oh
that thing
my.
got a yeah, so that thing got erased. Obviously, there's a ton of buyers sitting down here at this level right here. That thing got erased and then formed this morning star. So that's what's leading me to believe that we could go long on this one back into the resistance level. Up here, just how those candles are forming. Down to the daily, this is clearly like pushed down, pushed up. But at this point, we actually broke a resistance level, broke another resistance level, had this wick form. So this is starting to indicate to me that we could be pretty bullish coming down to the 4-hour. Same thing here, bullish on this time frame, broke resistance, pushed up, didn't never retested. So it's a lot of buyers pushed up, actually got a retest of this level. This is a trade that I missed out on last week that I had marked perfectly and just didn't take it. So this is what I look for. Break of this level, retest, look at all the wicks, things shot up. Now we just came back down. And at this point, formed a lot of, this bullish candle off the level, but we're starting to pull back a bit. So I'm not going to take shorts unless we break the support. And ideally, guys, I'm looking for longs, especially at the level that we're at. And I won't take a trade until the 30-minute time frame transitions a bit. Look at this time. Look at this. Even last week, if we remained very patient on this one, we had this level form of resistance. It broke right here, flipped around, retested that level. This is where I'm trying to look for trades. It looks great.
Sick buy.
Yeah, like it looks great now. Or ultimately, if I was that bullish on this, based on that, I knew that 4-hour was a strong level, I would have just been buying at the lows, realistically. But that would have been a nice safe entry, the break and retest. That's what I'd ideally look for now. Either we're buying at the lows again, if we want to be that aggressive, or wait for it to flip over a major level. This would be the level now that I would look for it to flip over and then start to take longs. So that's my gold idea. We're going to keep it open going into the week. Let's get into these are my two favorite ideas for the week, UCAD and NZD USD. So let's bump up to the weekly time frame on UCAD. We caught a nice sell last week on UCAD, like a 1 to 4 actually. So we're gonna go with that same idea again, guys, because it makes so much sense. It's right here. It's in a downtrend on the weekly, broke support, pushed lower, retested as resistance, broke support, pushed lower, retested resistance, broke support, pushed lower. Now we just retested it. That was the sell we caught right there following this doji. So a lot of wicks here. This is just the weekly. Clearly, this thing could push now down to this low again, potentially form another lower low coming down to the daily time frame. And I see a bunch of people sizing up this pair for this week. I'm not one to draw trend lines really, but definitely the trend is bearish. Anyone with common sense can see that. And we just had this push down, pullback, a lot of bearish pressure kicked in again. So this one is really going to be the best trade early in the week if it does play out. Coming down to the 4-hour time frame, because look at the daily, couple bearish engulfing, then a bearish push down. So bearish right now in this time frame. And I do have this level marked right here. This was support level from this zone right here. So a lot of volume is sitting up at that level. And then as we come down to the 4-hour, this is exactly what I look for, guys. 4-hour break and retest. So this thing, if it pushes up to retest this level, we have a nice zone there too. I'm going to just start selling it like a maniac in that area. This is going to be, I'm not going to set a sell limit because it's going to be a little ways away right now. But this is the level that I'm going to look to get it at. And once it gets there, we'll see how tight the stops are. If price just starts to push from here, guys, it's really no worries. We'll size this up again once it breaks support. But the way that it's forming right now, it looks like it's gonna pull back a bit. So that's my UCAD idea. Definitely trying to get in on that. And then I had this NZD USD idea, which is also pretty bearish. So and notice how I've got a lot of different ideas this week. I've got GU going bearish, EU going bullish, UCAD going bearish, NU going bearish. So I've got multiple kind of ideas right now with the dollar. which is completely okay. You know, I'm going to remain flexible with the pairs that I'm trading. You know, and I'm going to, like I said, if I get in on a pair I'm shorting the dollar and longing, you know, something else, I could always just cut my losses and see whichever trade runs. It becomes quite effective doing that. So this pair is bearish, broke the support level here, pushed down. Now we just push back up. Ideally, I want to retest this level. This is the level I want to retest up in this zone. This is a big zone up here that if we retest, we'll probably get a push down off of. But we're already rejecting this level. So I'm going to start to look for sells in there. So this time frame right here, pushed below the support level. Remember, this is the level we want to get to. And then all of a sudden, as I came down to the daily time frame, I'm noticing this resistance level broke. We retested it. So the daily has transitioned to be bullish already. And then this is why time frame correlation is so important, guys. And then the 4-hour time frame is just extremely choppy right now. So 4-hour gets choppy. We had the support pushed up, broke the support right here, came back, retested it. So the 4-hour right now is not looking pretty. If anything, the 4-hour right now is looking like it's going to push down. So the 4-hour is going to push down. Despite the daily breaking that little resistance, this is supporting my overall kind of short idea. And it's already moving a bit since I analyzed it. I'm just going to come to the 30-minute. Yeah. So this is already moving a bit, 30-minute time frame. This is exactly what I'm looking for here, guys. That 4-hour confirmed for me with the push down that we're below resistance right here, this closure below. And then we pushed back up to retest. And this would have been a sickening trade if we were to put a order right at this level after it pushed down and see how it retested that previous liquidity area and then got in. So that would have been a sickening trade to get in on. I'm going to actually try to trade this one probably. I said I'm not going to trade tonight. I'm probably going to try to trade this one tonight because it's already moving a bit. That would have already been up a little bit more than 1-to-1 if we had stops in a better spot, like stops at like 10 pips. We would have already been up a little over 1-to-1. So I'm going to look to re-enter on this one. I'm going to even get down to a lower time frame because this thing is definitely trending. Bring on some other stuff here, see what's going on. But the volume is extremely low right now, so we'll probably just wait on it. So those are the main two ones: NZD, USD, UCAD. Little ideas on EU, GU. I'll keep you guys updated inside of the premium group. That's where I'll sell or I'll post the signals for this week, and obviously a lot coming this week with FX Seed, with the account management program and everything. So we'll keep you guys up to date. And we are doing a little sale right now, 40% off the lifetime membership. I posted all the updates in the Telegram group. So again, guys, just look out in that group for any updates, and we'll keep you guys informed for this week. Big, like Nick said in the beginning, big week ahead this week.
Yeah, it's looking really good, guys.
Let's see this bonus pair.
Yeah, it's actually a crypto, but it's.
Would love to see you set up your trading journal. Yeah, we have examples of that. I mean, you could see really like our journal. We publish our ideas on TradingView at the end of the week. I literally sum up all of my trades on the Premium Signals review video. So that's pretty much my journal. The before and after shots. There's also, when it comes to like back testing, you could put in where your entry was, and that's pretty much what we're doing in the signals anyway. Where your entry is, where your stop loss is, everything like that. What time you enter the trade, how long you're in the trade. You can do stuff like that. But we're moving. You know what I mean? We're making moves now. So the journal is not an afterthought, but I more do the journal at the end of the week, not during the session. And it's actually funny. I was talking to a colleague the other day, and he said that he literally during the trading week is so focused that he tells his students not to hit him up during the week. Like he has a strict no contact policy during the week. Wow. Which to me was just funny.
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy. But yeah, guys, I mean, that's it. Obviously covered a bunch of pairs Sunday night, so obviously, we appreciate you guys hopping on for this
Yeah.
session. We'll be back Wednesday. Will be our next live training session. And like I said, we'll just continue to shoot the updates in the chat. A lot going on right now, but let's just keep it moving. That's it.
Oh yeah, guys. That's right. So we'll see you guys throughout the week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and take care, guys.
There we go. I'll post this on YouTube in a little bit. And if you guys have any questions about the programs or anything like that, feel free to hit us up in Telegram. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Peace out.
Peace, guys.